another part, a very significant part of Harold Pinter's literary career. And before we go for the text birthday party, I think we should go for that particular topic called comedy of menace. Since comedy of menace is not only attached to, the term can be applied not only in the case of birthday party, but in so many other plays of Harold Pinter. And the term requires a little bit of discussion. So today's topic will primarily be focused on the idea of comedy of menace. Now, before I go for such a term, I think I should go for the word menace. Uh, Etymologically, the word menace connects us that it has some old connections to Old French, manasse or menace. And then we have also connection to Latin, minacia or minax or minaciae. The Latin terms, the Latin variations actually, if it is translated into English, it will come as threatening, threats, or someone is threatened. So menace is necessarily talks about an experience that is threatening in nature. So where does the term come from? How is it comedy of menace? If it is menace separately, it was okay. But when we are talking of comedy of menace, so I think we should go deeper. We should think differently. Now, references say that the term for the first time was coined by a critic of plays, theater critic, and he was Irving Wardell. Now, Irving Wardell was writing a kind of a, review of the plays of Harold Pinter and another dramatist, of course, Campton. Now, while writing a review of Harold Pinter and Campton, he borrowed this particular term for the first time. It was actually taken from the subtitle of Campton's play, The Lunatic View, a comedy of menace. So that was actually the subtitle of Campton's play, The Lunatic View, a comedy of menace. And from there, we find theater critic Irving Wardell to coin the term and to popularize the term. Since then, the term that is popular today, comedy of menace. Now, what was the point when Irving Wardell was coining the term comedy of menace? Now, it is not something that Irving Wardell found a very different sort of plays written at that particular time. Rather, a group of playwrights were there who had a similar kind of technicalities, similar kind of nature in writing plays, and Harold Pinter was obviously one of them. So he found, particularly in the case of Harold Pinter's plays, two very interesting features. One is non-naturalist. Another one is the abstractionist. Now, abstraction. They were, along with Harold Pinter, they were abstractionists. Something that is very vague, something that is not directly connected to life, something that is not directly connected to nature. And on the other hand, the another very important term that Irving Wardell applied to criticize their play, non-naturalist. So, as I was saying, that Pinter should not only be categorized as the writer of Comedy of Myths. Obviously, Mr. David Campton, I have already mentioned the name of Campton because it was Campton's play, The Lunatic View, a comedy of menace, from where Irving Wardell coined the term. Along with Campton and along with Harold Pinter, we had Nigel Dennis, N.F. Simpson, and so many others who had all those features and who were practicing at that very time a new kind of play, that new kind of play that we call today Comedy of Menace. Now, if we think of Comedy of Menace is a new genre that the playwrights of the time, they were practicing, they were writing on, they found a new space to expose their intellectual capacity, to channelize it in a new way. So, how does it operate actually? What happens? How does it work? Now, Wardell also has some opinions regarding this. How does it operate? Forget about all the playwrights together. Think of Pinter or think of any one of them. Now, how does this particular sense called Comedy of Menace, how does it operate? Now, comedy is one sense that Wardell had in mind that will be helpful to us to understand the particular context. Now, what is happening, comedy enables a kind of a, situation and the context that the agents and the victims, something funny obviously is happening there. But at the same time, those agents and the victims of destruction, either they come on or off from their performances and the duties, if it is one hand. On the other, in a serious context, in a very serious context, we find that a moment of fun, joke, a situation is happening. One character is oiling a revolver, cleaning the revolver. At the same time, he is making fun of something. I mentioned in Indian context, you have Gang of Wasipur. Think of the movie. And several situations are there. Comic relief is happening in one sense, and on the others, it's very serious. Someone is laughing together with the characters, and then a destruction, a death, a murder is happening at the very same time. Nawazuddin Siddiqui, of course, he is a master, I must say, who can play such kind of roles very well. I think another movie should be categorized here in that context. This one is Sholay. Yes. Sholay, that classic Indian film, and Amjad Khan, the role played by him, and that dacoit, and that brilliant scene that the gang of dacoits in a mountainous region, and now the members of that particular gang, when they came back to their gang, being failure because the kind of job and the duty that was given to them, they couldn't fulfill it, successfully. Now there was the famous dialogue, "Kitne aadmi the?" How many people were there that you had to return unsuccessful? And there was a kind of a joke and that funny, luck and chance factor with a revolver in the hand. That no one knows who will die and no one knows who will be alive. And then, in a very funny moment, when each and every, all the three members who were failure to do the job given to them, and as a punishment, trigger was pulled against them. But what we found there, all the three escaped death in the first round of those, triggering the gun at that very moment. And immediately they found that they are relieved from the punishment and they were laughing together, enjoying the moment. Oh, what a great relief that their Sardar is no more going to give them any punishment. At that very crucial moment, in 3 consecutive, bullets, all the 3 were dead. So such a funny and horrible scene, of course, a comedy of menace. So, comedy of menace, a bit absurd in some cases. So, it is true also in the case of Harold Pinter. A sense of absurdity. And, such a feature that we find that the characters are in no way ready for a moment like this. Things happen abruptly and absurdly. Absurdity is one of the prime issues that can be found in such kind of a text, such kind of a feature, comedy of menace. Now, in Pinter's play, the more we talk of menace, the idea of menace, another very significant thing that you find over there is the idea of destiny. Destiny, as Wardell was there to criticizing the idea of menace in Pinter's play and the concept of destiny at the very same time. So I quote Wardell here, that will be clearer for all of us. Now, what is destiny that Wardell is trying to connect with destiny and menace? Destiny, handled in this way, not as an austere exercise in classicism, but as an incurable disease which one forgets about most of the time and whose lethal reminders may take the form of a joke. It's an apt dramatic motif for an age of conditioned behavior in which orthodox man is a willing collaboration in his own destruction. So destruction is happening. Some conditioned behavior are also seen at the same time. and an incurable disease of which the characters are oblivious of and they are making fun. So the whole setup creates a kind of a sense of menace. It is threatening, it is unexpected, it is absurd. Is it really true that Pinter admitted that in his plays, the idea of menace is very much present? Is it true? So, Pinter has always been a kind of a matter of attraction because the long 50-year-long career of performance, direction, writing. So, such questions were never uncommon when Pinter was asked, "Sir, what is your play all about?" So, such kind of a very bizarre kind of question that Pinter had to face so many times. Now, in a particular case, when someone asked Pinter the very same question, what does the particular play mean? What is the opinion of Pinter's own regarding his own play? That we would like to listen to now in the words of Harold Pinter. A very interesting phrase. Once, many years ago, I found myself engaged uneasily in a public discussion on theatre. Look, such kind of questions are very uneasy. So why did you create a character like this? What is the inner meaning? What is the symbolic presentation of a character, of a particular incident, of that particular object? What does it mean? And when such questions are asked to a writer, any writer, novelist, short story writer, a poet, or a playwright, it is very uneasy moment for them. The very same thing happened in the case of Harold Pinter. Once, many years ago, I found myself engaged uneasily in a public discussion on theatre. Someone asked me what was my work about. I replied with no thought at all and merely to frustrate the line of inquiry. So it was an immediate reply from the part of Harold Pinter. The weasel under the cocktail cabinet. The weasel is a kind of an animal having a very stinking kind of smell. The weasel under the cocktail cabinet. Now, this particular line became classic. This particular phrase became so popular that everyone started quoting Harold Pinter that this is all about this is his own opinion regarding his own place. This is what does he think about his own place. Now, Pinter is saying later on that this was a great mistake. Over the years, I have seen that remark quoted in a number of learned columns. It has now seemingly acquired a profound significance and is seen to be a highly relevant and meaningful observation about my own work. But for me, the remark meant precisely nothing. Now, if we discuss what actually exactly Harold Pinter meant to say by the term, the weasel under the cocktail cabinet, so it can have a very straightforward reply that the particular term means anyone can have any sort of interpretation regarding the plays of Harold Pinter. You can have full liberty to think in whatever angle you would like to interpret the play. Now, the idea of menace is not something that Harold Pinter was not at all aware of. Of course, he was aware of. Now, in so many places, Harold Pinter has interpreted, Harold Pinter has attempted to discuss that the way people often go on interpreting his plays so difficult way, his plays are not so much difficult, okay? Plays are not so much complex as generally people think of. Now, it is very relevant because so many of his plays are actually germinated out of some daily experiences, out of some particular incident or a particular, a thought thing that happened over there. And Harold Pinter was a witness. So witnessing an event like that, so gradually the idea of a play came up to him and he wrote on this. So later on, we find that the writers, thinkers, critics, they have actually problematized. They have found new problems, disturbing situations, made the whole process of the play, understanding of the play complex. Actually, the plays were not so complex. Those were some ordinary events that took place. And somehow Harold Pinter came to know about them. Now, it was a very good reference of an interview that I would like to say here. The interview took place in December 1971. And the interview was with Old Times. Regarding those experiences of germination of idea. Now, already another very significant play, Homecoming, is staged. And after Homecoming, Pinter shared the experience of writing Homecoming, okay? And Pinter was there to say that he couldn't stay any longer in the room with a bunch of people who opened the doors and came in and went out. Now, a group of people who used to come in and go out and come in and used to do the very same thing repeatedly, that was something very disturbing for him, and that gradually helped him to cocoon the idea of writing a play like The Homecoming. The very same story, not same, but a different story we find in the case of Pinter's another important play, The Caretaker. Now, when he was asked that whether he is very much aware of menace, what was the response of Harold Pinter regarding comedy of menace or the theme of menace in his plays? Now, Pinter was remembering in a particular context that he was tired enough responding on the issue of menace, since people had so many queries on this particular context. Now, in a particular situation, he was there to say that I said that I was tired of menace. I was using a word that I didn't coin. So, we have already said who coined the term comedy of menace. And regarding the interpretation of comedy of menace or the idea of menace in his writing, he was already very much tired of. So I was tired of using a word that I didn't coin. I never thought of menace myself. It was called comedy of menace quite a long time ago. I never stuck categories on myself. So here comes the true essence of a playwright. A playwright doesn't think all those symbols, imageries, and categorizations. And these are the works, contributions of the critics and the readers later on after reading the plays, after reading the particular text, that they contribute such kind of nomenclature, they contribute such kind of terminologies. But when the writer is writing a play, as it is very straightforwardly taken from Harold Pinter, I never stuck categories on myself. It was called comedy of menace, or any one of us. And this is very common for all playwrights, all writers actually, that they don't categorize, they don't stack, they don't impose upon them such kind of categorization. Now, before we conclude today's class, I have two important things to say. First of all, the theme of menace that we find in Harold Pinter, there is a very close parallel with another important writer. He is no other than Kafka. Now, in the text of Kafka, one can also find the same ambiguity, same mystery, feelings of disintegration, domination, and evasiveness. And the way exactly it is seen in the case of Harold Pinter's play. Now, there is a very nice thesis by Elif Toprak. And the thesis, the title is The Kafkaesque Theme of Menace in Harold Pinter's Plays. Now, the writer, the researcher has very perfectly made comparison the fiction of Kafka and the plays of Harold Pinter, and how in both cases, terror, sense of ambiguity, sense of threat. Okay? When in the fictions of Kafka, we have that invisible guilt, sense of ambivalence, and the impossibility to gain knowledge. That something omnipotent is over there, and that is not easily understood, not easily identified. Now, in the case of Pinter, Harold Pinter have the almost same kind of environment, same kind of theme of menace in his plays. In his plays, we find an outward force that loom large, play heavily on the characters. And that outward force is so strong, so much strong, at the same time invisible, and is no way easy to detect. So the idea of violence is very much there, and unreasonable attempt of threat, torture, dehumanization are all found over there. We should think those aspects. Probably Pinter actually wanted to this aspects of life, the uncertainty of life is something that is uh, that is very significant and that is very important. Now, a few critics are found who have attempted to point out uh, why in Harold Pinter the idea of menace came gradually. Okay, in one such particular interpretations, we find that it was probably the uh, condition of World War II, and Pinter was nothing but a young Jew. Probably he used to go to the bed every night with a sense of deep terror in mind, a sense of threat that someone might come to the home and knock on the door, and will be transferred somewhere, confined somewhere in some unknown place. The way the play Birthday Party ends. And the kind of thing, the kind of experience happened in the case of Stanley Weber in the play Birthday Party. So this existential fear, quote unquote, a very popular term used by Martin Esslin. So what we find in the plays of Harold Pinter, a sense of existential fear. Probably those were personally experienced by Harold Pinter as a young Jew. So comedy of menace, whether Pinter admits it or not, that is very much there. And this technicality, this technical position of comedy of menace, one of those layers that has made his plays more meaningful, more genuine, authentic, and relevant in all generations. So that much I had to say all about comedy of menace with some references of Harold Pinter and his plays. Thank you so much for your patient listening.